Hey, I'm Pep, and this is a Pep Talk. Now today, we're going to talk about something new. And no, I don't have some sort of surprise I'm going to show you that's new and exciting. Instead, we're talking about when something is new in general, and how to approach that. Of course, I came up with this topic because I got my hair cut today, and immediately, because it was new and exciting, I wanted to show somebody. And it made me think about what happens when you get a new game. Maybe it's fresh, still completely in the plastic, and you think, what am I going to do with this? Am I going to open it up right now? I really want to take a look at what's inside. Maybe you want to learn the rules ahead of time so that whenever you go to teach it to someone, they get the full experience with you. But is that true? Is that the full experience, just playing the game? Or would they also like to open the game with you? I know a lot of people like punching cardboard and opening shrink wrap, so they're always excited to be able to take the game out of your hands and unwrap it for you. But I don't think it's just about the unwrapping. I think it's also about just the experience of sharing something new with someone and having them feel that same feeling with you at the same time. So that's why personally, I think it's best if you have a game like that is new and in shrink wrap and you want to show it to everyone, pull it out and do it with everyone there. Bring it to a game night and experience learning the game, possibly, we'll get to that later, and just seeing all the components all at the same time. Everyone gets to judge things on their own merit. If the game looks exciting enough and looks possibly simple enough from the rules, maybe you do just learn it on the fly. And everyone kind of learns the game with you and you play along and you all have fun with that new experience. One of the big reasons I suggest this, especially if you normally have trouble teaching games, is that people are a lot more lenient if they're learning the game with you. You just open the box. They don't expect you to know how to play. Instead, they're just as curious as you are about how all these little pieces work. As an aside, I've always thought that would actually be a fun idea for a video series, is just opening a game, setting the rules aside without looking at them, and trying to guess how the game works just based on the components and how some of the cards read, maybe even just using a lot of the little rules reference cards that you get. I think some games would be quite simple, whereas others might be impossible. But with a little humor mixed in, I'm sure it'd be pretty fun. Heck, if you like the sound of that, say something in the comments below so I know. Maybe if I get enough people, I'll just do it. Back to the topic though. A big reason people probably don't want to open games for the first time in a group is you're probably worried about losing things. In fact, if the game has cards, maybe you're worried that if you do happen to play the game, a lot of the cards will get dinged up. You really want to sleeve them first. So a big suggestion, if that's you, maybe open the game ahead of time. Or just very clearly tell everyone at the table that you want to make sure the game is in pristine condition, maybe you plan on sleeving it later, etc. So just be gentle with the cards, be gentle with the tokens, whatever you need to say. And this topic doesn't have to stick to just simply brand new shrink-wrapped games. It can be games that are new to you and maybe most people at your game night, but not new to someone else. And that brings up the question, how do you approach a game that is brand new to somebody, and what's the best way to give them that new game experience? The most prominent thing I see is to teach them the rules quite thoroughly, and on top of that, maybe give them some advice that you wish you knew when you started the game. Honestly, that's what I'd do too. But is that the best idea? Are you taking away the experience that they would have had if they had have played the game without knowing this going in? But jumping back to the other side, if 3 people who've played the game before are going to play against someone new, is it going to be fun for them if they have no grasp on the strategy while the other 3 do? Well, there is a solution that I think covers that, and people aren't going to like this, I think. A lot of people don't like holding back in a game. They don't like putting the kid gloves on, you know? Just because it's someone's first time, you probably don't need to go easy on them. And you know what? In some games, that's probably true. But if it's a game that's going to roll along pretty fast, under an hour, I think it might actually be a good idea to do exactly that. Take the game easy, have some fun with it, and kind of make sure everyone else at the table understands that that's what you're doing. You're not trying to optimize your points, you're not trying to beat each other. You're basically just trying to play the game and make it known how exactly the game works. Because after this new player has played the game for the first time and not felt like they were stomped into the ground, well, maybe they want to play again. And this time, you can very clearly say, well, oh, if we're playing again, just gotta warn you, I might be a little better than I was before. Although if you are gonna play a game with the idea that it's just for fun, maybe make it clear to the new player as well that like, oh, let's play like a quick game of it for fun, get an idea how the game works, and then we'll play again once you have the concepts down. And I know, in your head, you're thinking, but Pep, it's so much easier to just explain ahead of time how some of these concepts work and what some good strategies are. Strategies are. Sorry, I got lost there. But you tend to forget how much time it's taking teaching the rules of a game anyway. And when you start adding in things like strategy tips, things to avoid, all those kind of things, you might actually tack an extra 20 to 30 minutes on to your teach of a game. And if the game only takes 40 minutes, why not just play a fun game of it first? Depending on the person, they might appreciate that a lot, because in my experience, people don't generally tend to enjoy listening to rules teaching for 40 minutes. But that's a whole different topic. I think something important about this whole new game perspective is basically to consider the views and feelings of everyone else. If you're talking to this new player and they say, no, heck, just slam into me, I want to see how this game can really go, then do it. And if you are going to be a little easier on them, maybe just make sure that's clear so that you know that they aren't going to be mad later when they find out you were all losing on purpose. Maybe it's just me who wants to experience games for the first time fresh. Maybe other people do like hearing strategies. But I have quite a few memories where someone would teach me a game, and just as I thought, oh, we're getting to the end, we're going to play the game now, they start saying things like, oh, coins are much more important in the game than you might expect. And instantly, I just get sad. For one, maybe I would have figured that out as I went along, so they kind of took that discovery away from me. Or two, maybe they're wrong. Not everyone is as hyper-intelligent as they seem to think they are. Myself included. I've found myself giving advice before to have people basically do the exact opposite and do just fine and prove me completely wrong. And number three, it can set a weird expectation in your head that changes the way that you think about something and then actually makes it true even if it maybe isn't true. If I put a lot of effort into getting coins because I've been told they're important, well, yes, they're going to seem important as the game goes on. But if I was never told that and I actually just got a moderate amount, I might not have left the game thinking that at all. Maybe they just have bad experiences with running out of money in the game. But you know when I do think that kind of advice is appropriate? In the middle of the game. And the reason why is because it's not that much different than when you're actually all playing the game for the first time. Maybe somebody notices something halfway through the game and says, wow, I think coins are way more important than we anticipated. Okay, well now I'm thinking about that because you've mentioned it and I can kind of process it simultaneously. Same as if you're playing something like a deck builder and a really good card comes up in the row that I'd be able to buy on my turn. You might say something like, you can afford that, that's really good. Now we'll take a look. Why not? But if you start the game off and before you even deal the cards out, you say, oh, by the way, this card's really good, keep an eye out for that. These kind of things combo really well together. Your buy power tends to be more important than your attack power early on in the game. It's just, you're basically telling them what strategy to use, and yeah, I don't know, it doesn't seem fun. Am I even on topic anymore? New games, like shrink-wrapped games. Even if you decide to open the game during a game night with everyone around, set it up on the table, take a look at it, you might come to the conclusion that it's just too big, too epic, too complicated for everyone to get into right now. That's okay. But you've shown them the game, you've laid it out, people have an idea of what's going to be happening, and you'll already have that agreement that they want to do it next time. And they'll ask you, do you mind learning the rules? Heck, because you've laid it out, maybe someone else will be even more interested than you are and will say, could I learn the rules? And then you've got to let go of control a little bit, which can be tough. But either way, to me, it feels like a more genuine group decision on the game when they all get to see it like that. We all get to be involved in the process of unveiling the game for the first time. So if you haven't tried that before, I really suggest it. Let everyone be there when you look at the game for the first time. And then all of you get to share in that reaction. And that has been my pep talk. Thanks for watching. If you have any questions or any other suggestions, or you just want to talk about what you like to do when you get a new game for the first time. Well, I guess you can't really get a new game for the second time, unless you damage your original copy and then had to get another one. But I guess it's still a new game. Just ramble about whatever you want to talk about in the comments below. I'll respond to you. And again, thanks for watching. Really appreciate it.